Okay, so I'm back from vacation, back from the Pylon 7-on-7 tournament that I was at all weekend, and we are ready to get back into the fold of making content. And one of the things today I wanted to talk about are some sophomores for the Oklahoma Sooners that I think could be poised for a jump in production. And we're also going to talk about an honorable mention. But before we get into any of that, y'all know the drill. I need to hear from you. So hop down to the comments, Y for yes, N for no. Do you believe that Oklahoma has sophomores ready to make a jump in production this upcoming season? And let me know what you're thinking. If you are new to the channel, be sure to subscribe, hit that bell notification. I do constant college football content. You don't want to miss any of it. And if you enjoyed this content, like and comment down below. Those interactions, though small, are truly massive to content creators such as myself in both getting picked up and maintained by the YouTube algorithm. But with all that being said, let's hop right into this, and I'm going to start with an honorable mention, someone who I was very close to adding into this list, and someone who, if you told me they were in your list of 3, you wouldn't receive much pushback from me, and that's Ethan Downs. Ethan Downs is a very talented individual that Oklahoma fans need to be excited about, and when we talk about the position he plays, if he's able to get the opportunity and convert that into production, that's a way to make a massive positive impact for your defense at that edge position. Downs is somebody we have to watch, very close to adding him into this top 3. I'm very intrigued to see what he's going to do this season, especially with the loss of an individual such as Nick Benito. The edge position is one I'm very interested in, seeing what Miguel Chavez is going to do with his first year with the Sooners, so I'm really interested in that. But the 3 names I have are going to be ones that I think Oklahoma fans in general will agree with me on, and we're going to keep on the side of the ball that Ethan Downs plays on, and that's the defensive side of the ball, where Danny Stutzman is our first name to talk about. And Stutzman is an interesting character, one that, if not for an injury this past season, he probably would have gotten much more playing time. And he's taking over a position where Oklahoma is going to need some depth at, and that's that inside linebacker position. And though they do have pieces at that position, you're talking about the quarterback of a defense. So this is someone who not only needs to be talented, but needs to have a deep understanding of what's expected of them and the defense as a whole. And if Danny Stutzman can get that down, this is someone we have got to watch. He's someone who Oklahoma fans have told me a whole lot about. He's a name I've constantly heard, and because of that, I think if given the opportunity, he's going to be able to take full advantage of it, and I'm really excited to see what he's able to do. I think spring is going to be fantastic for a lot of players, not only sophomores, juniors, seniors, freshmen, because you're going to have some new systems in place, but an individual such as Stutzman that was already there for a year, was already in the strength and conditioning program for a year, now being with Schmitty, I think he's someone who's poised to take a nice step in production in year 2. So he's a name we have got to remember. But now if we move to the offensive side of the ball, we can talk about Jaleel Farooq, an individual who the other day when I made a video, a lot of Oklahoma fans came to me with this name as someone we needed to talk about, and here we are. Farooq is someone who I'm very interested to see, and obviously so are you, and that's one of the reasons I was so excited to talk about this name in particular, because of the excitement I could see from Oklahoma fans in the comments about this name. Farooq is going to be a part of a wide receiver unit that does have a good amount of talent on it. And even though Oklahoma had some wide receivers transfer out, when you look at the room, you're still very comfortable with what you have. In between Theo Weiss, Marvin Mims, you have Stoops still there, and individuals such as Farooq who are just poised to take that next step. And whenever given the opportunity, Farooq was able to take full advantage of it. He had 4 receptions on the year, but 3 of them came in one game against Oregon, and that was when he showed the lion's share of his production. On the year, Farooq accounted for 4 receptions for 69 yards. However, against Oregon, those numbers were 3 receptions for 64 yards, showing his big playability. He's someone, if he can get into the fold, get more familiar with the offense, which one positive for Farooq in this is it's going to be a new offensive system for everybody except Dylan Gabriel. He at least has some familiarity with what's expected. So because of that, Farooq is on a very even playing ground. Now, Mims and Weiss have more experience in college football as a whole, and that tangible college football experience is something that I always think is a net positive. I talk about it extensively when we're talking about players from the transfer portal, how the more college football you're able to see, the more looks you're able to see, the easier you'll probably synthesize the information given to you because you can relate it to a look you've seen. You can relate it to a play you've experienced. Theo Weiss and Marvin Mims are going to be big players for Oklahoma. I don't think anybody would ever dispute that. But a name such as Jaleel Farooq, if given the opportunity, I think could be another big piece to this Oklahoma wide receiving core, who actually could be a really, really, really nice piece of this offense this upcoming season, and I fully expect them to be. I think we need to watch Oklahoma's receiving core very carefully, even with the losses they had. And last but not least is Billy Bowman. And this is one I am very interested in. I think a lot of you have come to realize I'm a big fan of Billy Bowman. I was a big fan of him coming out of high school. He went to Denton Ryan High School in the town I live in, Denton, Texas. So I was deeply familiar with his game. I'd watched him play multiple times. I've watched him ball out on both sides of the football. And that's why when many of you asked me initially what I thought he would play, I really didn't know, and that's because he was genuinely that good at both sides of the football. On offense, he was able to take over games, and I've watched him on defense shut down a side of the field. And so whenever he gets to Oklahoma and starts playing defense, I wasn't in the least bit surprised. However, the question I have is, what does the future hold for Billy Bowman? Obviously, he's got the ability to play defense at a high level, but he also has the ability to play offense at a high level. This individual is just a football player through and through. And so my thought process on this is, if you have a guy that is just this gifted in the game of football, to where we know at the Division I level in college football, he can play defense, and we really think at the Division I level in college football, he can play offense. If you have that guy, you need to find a way to get him onto the field. And Bowman is someone who I think the more experience he has, the better he's going to be. Look, even though Bowman started some last season, we need to remember, first and foremost, he was a true freshman. And secondly, he was a true freshman that has split time at multiple positions through his entire career. The benefit he's going to have is when he's able to sit somewhere and learn that position extensively, or at least more extensively than he's been able to in the past. For him to be as good as he is while sharing reps at so many different positions, at the high school level at least, I think is a testament to his ability overall. Last year he played nickel for the Oklahoma Sooners, and that's a position that I think he would really excel at, but that's also a very difficult position to play in a lot of these defenses. Offenses are looking to attack every area of the field you can, and a lot of these defensive coordinators ask a lot of that nickel position and being able to account for various different looks. And so throwing a true freshman in there, a true freshman who, like I said, throughout his entire high school career, went to a phenomenal high school with great coaching, but was asked to do a lot because of his athletic ability. I wasn't surprised in the least that he had some freshman hiccups. I think that's only to be expected with any freshman in the nation, but I'm really intrigued as to what the future holds, because I truly do believe you get him in a position, you teach him that position, he's going to excel at it. And because of that, I don't know where he's going to be playing this year, whether it's offense, whether it's defense. I'm just of the mindset that if you have a guy that's legitimately this good, find a way to get him onto the field and let the rest take care of itself. I have no doubt that Brent Venables, Jeff Lebby, Todd Bates, Ted Roof, whoever it may be, have a plan for Billy Bowman. I just can't wait to see it. And I'm very interested in hearing from Sooner fans specifically about Billy Bowman. Where would you like to see him on the field? Because I'm a little bit biased. I love defensive football. And so my answer anytime anybody's going to ask me, hey, Ty, where would you like to see this kid, offense or defense? I'm probably going to lean more on the defensive side of the football. It's what I grew up loving to watch, specifically in college football, was defense. And because of that, anytime you have these athletes that could do either, most of the time I'm leaning more towards defense. However, that being said, I truly do believe Bowman is one of those individuals that could flourish wherever you put him. So, very interested in seeing from that. More interested in hearing from y'all. Hop down to the comments. Let me know what you're thinking about all this. That's it. See ya.